Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look at prorevenge. Let's just get on with it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I can't get comfortable on this chair. I just can't. I feel like all over the place. Prorevenge. Deliberately deplete my prepaid phone balance. You'll pay for it 1,000 times over. I went to middle school in the early 2010s, right before smartphones really took off. I got my first phone right before starting 6th grade. It was a slide phone with a pay-as-you-go plan that cost 10 cents per minute for calls and per text message sent or received. Worse yet, sending or receiving photos cost 25 cents each. It was very expensive. My parents only gave me $100 a year for this. Get a job. If I exceeded the amount, I had to cover the rest of my limited birthday and Christmas money. Like, we all had to deal with that. I remember text messages costing like 5p. You text your friend a few times and that's it. All your credit is gone. You just dealt with it. Get over it.
Get a goddamn job, Al.
Fortunately, most of my friends were good at helping me preserve the balance. They'd call and I'd let the call drop but immediately call back on a landline so it wouldn't count as a call, and they'd email me or message me on Skype. I remember that like 0800 reverse thing, and I would have to do that all the time if I was at a train station and I needed my dad to pick me up from somewhere. The thing where like they collect the call and then they get charged like a quid for it or something. But no, I'd get around it because they give you like a small 3-second pause to say your name. So I would quickly go, "Hi dad, it's me, can you call me, can you come back?" And then he would call me, and then that way like he wouldn't collect the charge. I know, brilliant, aren't I? Everything was good until Derek joined the group in 7th grade. At first we thought he was funny, but we quickly got fed up with him as he was very unpleasant and exhibited many antisocial behaviours. He started drama within the friend group and also caused issues between us and the other kids outside the group. He was manipulative and always played the victim when others rightfully called him out on his shit, and he knew how to charm parents, so getting rid of him was easier than said than done. He was the one friend who didn't respect my phone situation. He very frequently texted me, "Wait, yeah, I remember that. Receiving photos used to cost money," which is ridiculous. But all like the cameras were so bad back then. It was like taking pictures with a potato, so you wouldn't really send pictures anyway. He very frequently texted me dumb memes, even though I told him multiple times just email or Skype them to me, since each picture text messages cost $25 each. Block his number. Could you even do that back then? No. Unfortunately, blocking phone numbers was a feature that was unavailable for this pay-as-you-go phone. So there was nothing, I guess we didn't really have that back in the day. So there was nothing I could do as he spammed my phone. One day he got mad at me for some reason and spammed my phone with memes. He must have sent over 100 lolcats over text and kept sending them until I lost service since my phone balance was depleted. I had lost the remaining $40 in my account as a result. I was extremely pissed and demanded that he pay me the $40 he'd cost me, and he refused and said it wasn't his problem. I got home from school, told my dad to the situation, expected him to go and tear Derek's mother a new one and demand the money, but my dad said that it wasn't worth the battle. I even asked him about small claims court. What teenager asks about that? So you can tell they're American. He said not all battles were worth fighting. The effort wasn't worth $40. He took me to the carrier store and loaded $50 into my phone. The carrier changed my phone number and they managed to block Derek's number. They initially said blocking phone numbers wasn't possible with this plan, but my dad insisted and would not leave the store until they did. I was extremely paranoid about my phone number being leaked and other kids spamming it to mess with me. Fortunately, my parents got iPhones that summer and got me one too, and the new family plan had unlimited text plan. Nonetheless, I was still pissed at the $40 he essentially stole from me out of malice. Fortunately, not too long after, there was a big blowout between Derek and the rest of the friend group at the end of the school year, and we permanently kicked him out of the group. He was an outcast the following year in 8th grade, and nobody was tolerating his shit anymore. He changed schools the year after, we never heard from him again. Fast forward to a few years ago, I was back home for a few months between graduating college and starting a new job on the other side of the country. I went out to the same garage sales one Saturday morning and ended up at Derek's house. I recognised his mum, but I don't think she recognised me. I guess glasses and a beard is all you need. I noticed some Pokemon napkins out for sale, and when I picked them up to look at them, Derek's mum said that her son had been obsessed with Pokemon for his whole life, and she was so tired of Pokemon stuff occupying our home for so many years. I said that these napkins were for my younger cousin who was really into Pokemon, and asked if she had any more of that stuff. She said she didn't know people were still into that, and that there was a few boxes in the attic with her son's old stuff. She actually took me inside the house, which I never imagined I'd set foot inside again, and let me climb up the attic ladder and take down several large boxes to look through. The first one had Christmas ornaments in it and other junk, but I freaked out inside when she opened a box jam-packed with Pokemon video games of the original boxes. The whole reason I had agreed to go inside in the first place was because I was holding out hope of this exact scenario happening. See, I knew Derek was obsessed with Pokemon. Our friend group liked Pokemon back in the day, even when the other kids thought it wasn't cool, but Derek was on a whole different level. He bragged about his Pokemon collection all the time. At the time, he had every single main series game in the original box and in mint condition as he always had to add in. I went to his house once and he was showing me his collection. He yelled at me for touching one of the games. Nobody was allowed to touch them except him. He had many older Nintendo games in excellent condition, but Pokemon was his favourite. He had a couple of incidents with his mum damaging or throwing away his things. It wasn't out of malice, but just ignorance, as she didn't think games or collectibles had value. Fast forward into the present day, I was thinking about this stuff when I asked his mother if she had any other Pokemon stuff. She ended up bringing out the mother load. We opened all of the boxes she had me bring down. Within the boxes there were the beloved collection of Pokemon games, all very well preserved, as well as several Nintendo consoles, hundreds of games, 24 binders full of Pokemon cards, and there was also a box of many Lego sets with original boxes and everything, many old Star Wars sets. When I saw Jango Fett, who's that, I knew I struck gold. I told her that I liked the old Legos as well and asked how much for the 5 boxes of games, cards, Lego sets, and she thought for a second and said $100 a box or $400 for all 5. I told her I'd take it all and hauled ass to get a ATM. I loaded the 5 boxes into my dad's truck and immediately drove home. I knew there was potentially tens of thousands of dollars of goods in here. This was the score of a lifetime, and I finally felt vindicated for the $40 Derek had taken from me all those years ago. I ended up giving all the stuff to my uncle, who's a hobbyist eBay reseller. He offered to sell it all. He was willing to go through the effort and sell everything individually. And despite my insistence, he said he wouldn't take more than a 10% cut of the profits after fees and taxes. We went through and logged every single item along with the estimated value, and the total of the whole lot was about $40,000. I don't think I believe this. 40,000 was a poetic number. This was 1,000 the value of what Derek stole from me all those years ago. Too coincidental. My uncle sold most of the lot before the end of the summer and ended up writing me a check. Though it was considerably less than $40,000, it was still a life-changing amount of money for me. I was able to pay off the remainder of my student loans and put the rest down towards a car payment. I don't believe it. I mean, you have to take all of it with a pinch of salt anyway, but yeah, I don't believe that one. Ooh, not safe for work content. Pro-revenge. Today I messed up by being an arsehole on the internet and causing a stranger to get divorced. I'm cross-posting this from today I messed up. I'm really not a mean person and genuinely felt terrible for destroying a marriage, but the lovely users thought I should post here, though I didn't mean for all the revenge to go this level by any means. I don't even know if I meant for revenge at all, but here we are. I, 42 female, messed up big time. 2 weeks ago, on a random Thursday morning at like 1 a.m, someone started shooting off fireworks in my neighbourhood. I'd been having bouts of insomnia and was finally able to get to sleep, but I had to wake up for 4 a.m. for a meeting 2 hours away that had to be out for 8 a.m. I was pissed, and so were my dogs. I love fireworks, but I think there's a time and place. Thursday morning, 1 a.m. is not it. I posted to the neighbourhood Facebook group a few hours later during a coffee break about people that set off fireworks during the midweek. I've already heard this one on TikTok. I know where this is going. After I make the long drive home, I check my Facebook. Some guy comments that I can't sleep because I'm a fat pig. Now, I'm chubby, but not sloppy fat. Plus, I just lost the equivalent of a fully grown male wombat or 54 North American grey squirrels, so I feel awesome about myself. This is where I may have messed up. I respond to the guy, mid to late 30s, very early 40s, about the same age group as me. I write in a comment beneath this, listen, guy's name, I'm sorry I had to end things, but I just didn't have the same feelings. What you're saying now is just hurtful and mean. Please stop sending me messages and commenting on my Facebook posts. It's just a pathetic way to contact me. I told you a dozen times we're over. We're done. The following day, I had to get to the airport for an out-of-country vacation that had me getting up early and leaving us early as hell. I don't check my Facebook during all the craziness. I could not check my Facebook if you never wanted. I was on a cruise, not paying $25 a day for internet, and the country we visited didn't really have the greatest Wi-Fi. Besides, I was having a blast leaving the chaos of the world behind. I signed in on Monday night and OMG. Apparently, people took this seriously and told his wife. She was freaking out on me, pleading for information, sending me messages. Her and her friends were DMing me. He was DMing me. It was bad. The last message was the guy saying, I'm a total see you next Tuesday because I refused to tell the truth and I just destroyed his life. I immediately messaged both him and his wife explaining what happened. I sent pics of me on vacation even, timestamped. Apparently, he is a serial cheater, and when I exposed our affair, another woman exposed her affair with the husband to the wife because her partner was jealous that he had yet another side chick. This was the last straw that broke the camel's back, not only because of multiple affairs, but because he humiliated her with how public it was. So there's my accidental pro-revenge. Ticking time bomb. Fair enough, really. Better that she knows, which reminds me, sometimes on like the Apple News thing, I get, a pop-up with some article, right? And today it was like, oh, should I tell my friends about the kiss I saw? So I click on it and it's an agony aunt type article, right? And it's someone saying that at a red light she'd stopped at, she saw her best friend, who's married, kissing her friend's husband. What should she do? The agony aunt has said two things. Number one, she said, people are complicated and you don't always know the full story. Which I agree with. Sometimes people can be in a polyamorous or like swinger type deal and you don't know because maybe they just don't want to publicise that. So you should never like assume. But if she's best friend, you'd think the best friend would tell her, but maybe not. People keep their secrets. But the agony aunt's real response was she wouldn't say anything to anyone, because how do you not know it wasn't a one-time thing? And you could be ruining their lives by revealing that, not the affair people ruining their own lives by, I don't know, snogging like their friend's husband. And then she said, if one of my friends told me that like a friend had snogged my husband, I would question the woman's intention. And I was just kind of like, what the am I reading? What is this like borderline misogynistic babble? How are you blaming a woman telling you what they, in a hypothetical scenario, what they saw your husband doing? How are you blaming a woman for that, rather than, I don't know, your husband for sticking his tongue down someone's throat? What the you stupid dumb. I feel so much better. It's like having a cigarette after sex. What an idiot. What is wrong? And that's agony art. Like she said, as a psychotherapist, oh yeah, I'd love to see your credentials, lady. What? People deserve to know who they're married to and what's going on, so they can, can say like this isn't a swingers situation and say it's just the husband cheating on like her best mate. Does her best mate not deserve knowing what type of person she's married to? And maybe it's something that she could forgive and forget, but it's better to be informed. Like, what kind of threat? Oh my god, it really annoyed me, and the fact that it was on like Apple News as well. Mental. Who are these idiots that answer? Because like a lot of these agony aunt advice, because like Metro runs a few of them, and the responses are always completely asinine, and I'm like, am I the mad one for thinking it's better to live honestly rather than be wrapped up in like drama and lies and hysteria all the time? Like, am I the wrong one? Am I the arsehole? Anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'm uploading every day in December for Vlogmas, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.